day 5, we're going to Barafu camp, and everyone was really glad that this is a really short trek. Despite being a short trek, it was no less picturesque than any other day. Once again, a whole new landscape.
I got out of my tent and the sun just got up, so it was like a really beautiful morning. This big kind of flat space with lots of tents and the clouds in the distance, so I just spent the morning walking around before everybody woke up, taking pictures. It was really nice.
This was an acclimatisation day. Well, I mean, I wasn't acclimatised. By the end of the day, I don't think I was acclimatised.
Jambo, Victor.
The whole time you had the mountains around you. You woke up amongst the clouds and all you saw was mountains peeking through. It was the best thing you could wake up to. And yeah.
When we come out of the camp, we had an hour and a half walk up to the plateau where we had the opportunity to have a bit of a break, look around and see like what the surrounding area basically.
When we started walking, we could see the camp in the distance where we were going to be because it was through a valley. And it was quite a gentle walk compared to most of the other days, or it felt gentle compared to the rest of the days, because I think by then your body's just used to all the battering, so you didn't feel it as much. But I think it was almost encouraging to see this massive group of people walking towards the next camp, because we knew if we made it that day and it was going to be summit night the next day, most of my motivation lay in that. And I thought, if I can make it through today, then it should be okay.
Jambo.
We were able to see how close we were to the peak of Kili, which started to really bring it home. It was a brown alert time, basically, that we are going to have to actually climb this. There was no hiding it.
I found that initially quite difficult because I was already very tired, but I managed to do it. I did it at my own pace, probably with one other person with me and my guide who helped me throughout. Once we got over the wall, I did struggle, and I continued to struggle, to be honest. I think overall the whole, walking through the valley was exhausting. And I was dehydrated as well. It didn't seem to matter how much water I was drinking. It just wasn't doing anything for me.
I think the walk up to the final campsite was only a few hours, so we had a lot of time for rest and recovery. But we needed it, because we were going to be walking all night and all day.
Yeah, Barafu camp was cool. We arrived, there were lots of people there, there was a lot of activity, as you can imagine. There were lots of people there making lots of noise.
The porters set up the tents, and there was a lot of sun coming through. It was a nice, beautiful day, so we were all just sitting on the rocks or lying there and just soaking up the sun, and like really lazy, eating haribos and just relaxing really. So.
Personally, I was just happy that on day 5 when we reached base camp, it wasn't windy or cold, which could have been demotivating for me. So I was just happy to see the sunrise and also be able to see Kilimanjaro just right behind our campsite. That gave a lot of motivation.
The sun was out, but we were able to go and lie down on the rocks, do a bit of sunbathing, get the haribos out. It was good, it was good. It was a nice time. We spent, we were there for quite a while.
Sweater, give us a smile. Hey.
The campsite before the final climb is very high up, so there's very few resources there. So it's probably the harshest camp that you're going to be at. The bathrooms, for example, are perilously placed on the edge of a cliff. You are never going to go to a toilet anywhere in the world with a fantastic a view as these loos.
There were these funny toilets, like right on the edge, and I was remembering this story I read in Chris's book about this woman who allegedly died when she went to the toilet, and the toilet just collapsed down the rock, and her with it. So it's probably urban fantasy or Kilimanjaro fantasy, but somehow I was just remembering that story and wondering if that could happen.
The day before the actual ascent, everyone's quite not scared, but everyone's thinking about, oh, can we do it, can we not do it, will the altitude affect us? But everyone was still quite motivated.
I wouldn't say that people were subdued, but I think it was beginning to hit home that we were actually going to be doing this final push. So there was a kind of a mixture of nerves and excitement, more so than any other day throughout the trip.
I was starting to feel nervous again because that big climb was coming up. So up to that point, it was quite relaxed, quite comfortable for me. Like all the days, because I was really slow, taking it slowly.
I don't recall what we had to eat, but I remember it was a really good meal because we all got together, and this is largely due to Catalina, who was very fantastic to organise this.
Sam, we wanted to say something to you, like thank you very much.
She got a card and we got everyone to sign it, we got all the porters to sign it, and we gave it to our fantastic and inspirational leader Sam to basically say thank you for making us climb this mountain. And it was a really memorable meal.
Yeah, we want to thank you very much for organising all this trip.
Oh, hello.
It's
not the end of the trip.
Let her finish, Sam. Let her
We really
finish.
want to thank you very much for organising so much effort and everything. Yeah. And all together we did this letter for you.
Oh, you're kidding
And also
me.
everybody signed here
Oh,
and
thank
also
you. That's really nice. Thank you, guys.
In case we don't make it back,
Oh my God,
so we thought we'd do it now.
and also the receipt.
Smile to the camera.
Oh, thank you. Woohoo! Alia, duende.
Kevin, can we see your red handcuffs?
What handcuffs?
Red fluffy handcuffs
There's no.
that you tie
He's got the German.
handcuff Lenny to.
They're
Like,
leather. Just explain to the camera why you have leather handcuffs.
leather red fluffy ones.
Oh, love cuffs.
I don't know. Why would you have them? I mean,
Sweater's desperately trying to avoid the shot there. Sweater, what is your opinion about the furry love cuffs? Ooh la la!
I can't actually imagine anyone actually having sex at this altitude.
All essentials when you're going up the mountain.
We taught. That's what you are taught.
You guys.
We're gonna go tomorrow and smash Killy's back doors in.
We went to bed early to get up at midnight and start trekking.
As night came, there was a pretty big gale. There was my tent. I didn't think I necessarily was going to survive, and I thought my tent was going to blow off the top.
And literally our tent was just, it was scary. It was making these sounds from the wind. And I was just wondering, like, is the climb happening? Because the wind is so strong. So I thought maybe it's going to be cancelled.
Felt like gale force winds to me. It was really like windy and breezy, and you can hear tents moving about.
It felt like it was teeming it down, and the wind was just like buffeting the tent, and I thought, this is pretty bad, this is really bad. We've got all the way up here, and it feels like the weather is so bad that, you know, I've got it in my mind that they might cancel this. And it's like, that cannot happen.